So we just got done watching the video on the other side of the street, and this is one structure you can walk into. Olivia already did, so let me catch up with Olivia. Now, if I remember in reading about some of the stuff, is that this furniture, well, how would I put this? It's period correct. Some of it was found here in Bodie, and it was brought into like these locations. So one thing to keep in mind, although you would like to think that, hey, we stumbled across this ghost town, people just walked away from it, which in fact they did. Some of the things we're going to see today when it comes to the furnishings and within it, they were actually not in these exact structures, but they were brought here to do like a recreation. I mean, like, so right here, you know, example of what a single bed would have looked like. I remember when I came here, this is exactly the way it looked like when I got here, when I was doing the KLR ride, my motorcycle ride. And I remember this too. I make a comment of why would people just throw their money on these beds? But this is a real structure. Whether this is the exact furniture that was in here or not from the last occupants is uncertain, but the furniture is period correct. It might have been brought from different areas. So our room last night was about the same, wasn't it?
Yeah, smaller.
So Olivia says, yeah, our room that we had last night was about the same, but we were in a smaller room. So one thing that it mentioned the climate, where it says during the summer, which isn't as bad as I thought. I think they said we're about at 8,000 feet in altitude, which I didn't realize we were that high up. About 8,000 feet in altitude and 8,000 feet in elevation. I guess that's the proper way to say it. And during the winter, it gets 20 below. During the summer, it can get like the 70, 80 degrees. It doesn't get real too terribly hot. Although I do recommend always bringing water and sunblock with you. As skiers will tell you, they'll be in the coldest mountain places skiing, but yet will want to have some sunblock protection. Oh, well, this might be Olivia's very observant. If I don't pay attention to her, I'll lose. So this might have been like a mercantile or something, but it has a lot of the old display bottles. Maybe this was a market at one time or a general store. There's a pharmacy here. It shows you a bunch of pharmacy stuff in it. And I want to try to find these. There's a gas station out here too. Very, very old gas station. We didn't see this until we were in the movie place, but hold up the back of it. Let me see the other side. Olivia found this state park map, and it's free. So when you go inside the movie thing, make sure to grab one of these. But it has some of the history I've been probably been trying to describe to you is in here.
It's talking about the place I just saw.
Yeah, let me just point it out. There's the building we were just looking at in the church. So it has some buildings of notoriety in here. But the gas station has 2 gravity pumps. I think we're close to it. If you come out here, I mean, I want to see if I didn't get to that mine last time. I'm going to see if I can get there this time. We're going to be in Lone Pine tonight. It's about a 3-hour drive. This place shuts down at 6. It's 1:30 now. We should be able to cover more of it today than I did when I was out here on the motorcycle in November of I think it was like 2020 or 2021. And some of these, so I think the status is what they call is arrested decay. I didn't go up to that house. I'm gonna walk up to that one in a second. And what that means is that now that California State Park has it, they don't do anything really to refurbish it or to maintain it or repair. They just try to keep it from getting any worse. But if it falls, it falls. They're not doing anything to, it's probably because of the natural preservation and the expense behind it. And now I do understand that initially when the town was vacated, it was just vacated. And I don't know when California State Parks took it over. But one interesting point when I was watching the video, which I encourage everyone to watch that movie, it was copyrighted in 1991, which is, over 30 years ago. And it was a state park back then, 1991. So I don't know exactly all the different changes that might have happened since 1991, but just take that into account that you're watching something that was published in 1991. How you doing?
Wonderful. How are you?
So one of the visitors just told me that what we're seeing is only 5% of what the city was when it was at its maximum capacity. I thought it was a third, but as much as you see here, which is plenty to come visit in the day, was at 5% is plenty enough. I can only, actually I can't imagine more to see the city. Now it had a couple of fires that took it out, that destroyed it, but to get the essence of what the city consisted of, and I guess the church, according to the movie, was on the main street. But I mean, you could walk and walk and walk. The good thing about it is it won't get too hot here today. This part of town looks like something you'd see in a Dr. Seuss film.
What Dr. Seuss thing?
Like Whoville.
Oh.
Like Whoville. Everything's at a weird angle. This is the house Olivia wants to move into. Is that what you said?
No.
Oh, I must have.
Car.
Huh?
Is it a car?
Yeah, I think it's what's left of a car, Olivia. Oh my goodness. I can't even see what that says. There's some kind of writing on that muffler. Yeah, it's what's left of a car. Hot front, who knows? So it looks like this is one of the older mine shafts here. It might be at one of the stamp mills where they refined it, and I guess they would press. Oh, that was on the other side of the bathrooms. We didn't see it.
I saw it.
Oh, I didn't see it.
How do you get? I don't know if you can go down there, I guess.
Olivia said if I don't stop with the stupid jokes, she's going to leave me here. Or she's going to put me in a home. One of these homes. Actually, that looks like it might have been stables. Another old car. And I tell you what, Olivia's little all-wheel drive vehicle did very, very well on those roads. I can't imagine some of these other cars. There's an outhouse. Olivia, if you have to go to the bathroom, do it now. There's the outhouse. Olivia just made an interesting reference. We were in Pompeii, Italy. You know, Vesuvius, Pompeii, ancient Rome, whatever, ancient Rome. You get the picture. Anyways, we were in Pompeii. We walked a lot of it. Olivia said, "Do you think Pompeii was bigger than this?" It was kind of a tongue-in-cheek comment. But then I stopped. There was 8,000 people here at the max, and we're in 5% of what's left of this built city. So I guess if we really wanted to dig into it, we could look at the square footage and the number of the populations of both, of an ancient Western city as we're sitting in, and the city of Pompeii. One thing that the movie points out, which I think is kind of important notoriety, is that we are on the east side of the Sierra Nevada mountain range. So the Sierra Nevada mountain range pretty much starts like in Mount Shasta area, and I'm no geologist, and I might be wrong on that, but it goes as furthest south. Actually, I want to say, Shasta might be on the, still part of the Olympic mountain range. But nonetheless, this side of the Sierra Nevada mountain range, where Mount Whitney is part of, we're on the east side, where most of the gold and the mining camps were on the west side. Sacramento, Sutter's Mill, that part. The Gold Rush, Highway 49, that skirts the base of the Sierra Nevadas on the west side. I did that Gold Rush trip about a year ago, where I came up the 395, which we're on now. Then I ended up on the 49, ironically, 1849, the Gold Rush. Now, also what the movie said was that this place becomes booming around 1860. California state got statehood in 1850. So after 1849 Gold Rush, California gets statehood 1850. And a lot of these mining camps at that point, I don't want to say the word regulated as much, but they did. You would have to stake your claim.
Doghouse?
It's like an old well. Doghouse, what? Oh.
That little house?
Yeah, Olivia's looking at the little doghouse. Right there. So by 1860, which is the year before the Civil War starts, where's that? I want to find that gas. I think it's down here. I think the gas station's down here. In 1860, before the Civil War starts, this place really starts booming, but it's also a state at that point. And it was a state that was surrounded by U.S. territory. They didn't border another state for a while. What then becomes Nevada, Arizona, Oregon, those all become states after California gets statehood. So I think this is probably the biggest mining town that existed in California east of the Sierra Nevadas, and that is also what puts us at this high altitude of 8,000 feet. 18,000, we'd be climbing up yeah, thank you. Mount Everest. Mount Everest is about 28,000 altogether. Your highest points in California, Mount Whitney is about 14,000. Mount Whitney is about 14,000. I think even Mount Rainier is about that. McKinley, I think, is a little bit higher than 14,000, and then Whitney's at 28,000. Okay, here's the gas station. I'm going to pause it till we get closer. Actually, Olivia pointed out, she goes, "What is that?" And if you hear it, I guarantee you those are fighter jets, probably F-18 Hornets from Fallon. I wouldn't say Nellis. We're closest to Fallon Naval Air Station. If you guys can hear it off in the distance. But before I close this portion of the video out, I just want to get a close-up of that mill, which I want to go up to. I didn't go up to last time. I can't see the planes. I don't think they're from Lemoore. I don't see them. Olivia, if you see the planes, let me know. Yeah, I don't see them at all. But I'm gonna end this portion of this video once we get done with the gas station, because I want to take some still shots. But I think there's a little fire truck in here that we'll walk up to first. So this is the firehouse. I would like to say this is not the only one they had. So they have these markers here, which if you're doing the walking tour, there's a little map for the walking tour. And once again, some of these items are more likely period correct. There's an old letter on the right-hand side. Are period correct. Whether they were exactly here and were abandoned here, I can't confirm. Oh, they have a truck parked in front of the gas pumps now. So one of my videos I reference that I volunteer at a historic Richfield service station in Rancho Cucamonga, California. It's the Richfield service station, once known as the Cucamonga service station. It was established, opened up in 1915. Then 100 years later, in 2015, it opened up as a museum. I'm fortunate to be one of the docent volunteers there. I think when I was first here, I think there was a structure behind these pumps, and they put this truck out here. I'd like to know how the truck got out here. It wasn't here last time. If I historically look at my other videos and pictures, this truck was not here, which I kind of wish it wasn't here, because it blocks the pumps. So now they bolted on so they don't disappear. I imagine some of them would have. They bolted on the pump handles themselves. That graded structure is probably there to protect it. I've never seen that before. That graded structure that's around the glass. Our pumps at our station look very similar to these. So people call them view or gravity. And I'd imagine, and there's an old shell, don't know if this is even supposed to be here or not, but bullet holes in the shell. But I would imagine that the gas station service portion of it was either situated behind here, but I'm gonna go see what Olivia's looking at. That was either a general store, but I don't imagine, I would imagine that the structure was sat behind these pumps. This is. This looks like the top to an old 50-gallon drum. Some other apparatus.
It's like a baby chipmunk crawling on the wall. I thought it was a lizard.
There's some automobile parts. This was part of the service station itself then. And the pumps are just offset. I don't know how much you guys are going to be able to see with this glare.
You just put it up to the window and you don't see any glare.
Oh yeah. So I really can't say how much of this was.
Oh, look, here's a can that has.
Yeah, Olivia said put it right up to the window. You won't see the glare, which she was right. So don't know how much of this was actually left here and how much was brought in. Although I do believe it's authentic, but how much was brought in that may not have been here, but is pretty correct just to give it the aesthetic and feel of what this once was, which I imagine a general store. So, as you guys can see already, I mean, just a couple of videos I've done, there's a lot to see here, but I'm going to cut it off now and do some still shots. Link this up to my other videos. There's probably going to be a series of them, and I don't want to mesh them together because that just kind of becomes a pain when I'm doing it on my cell phone. So, I'll do one more panoramic, and then we'll shut this one down for now. There's a couple other places I will, because I know that there's a really cool building here I've been to. I think there's another car in there. There's a car in the field, and then I'm gonna work my way up the road, which I did not do last time, and I did not go up there. So there'll probably be another video to conclude after this. So I'll just stop this one with a shot at this guy. All right, take care, everybody. Bye.